Hi everybody, Jesse here and welcome back to the Fit Forward Gym. Congratulations, you've made it to part 6 of the mini mobility series, core and posture. Today we're going to be talking about the health of your spine. You have your lumbar discs, which have a nice extension curve, your thoracic discs, which have this C curve right in the middle part of your back, and your cervical discs, which have another extension curve. Now, the lumbar discs are made to take force and pressure. As you move up the spine toward the cervical discs, they're made to be mobile and have a lot of good rotational ability. The problem is that through society and technology, we tend to hunch our shoulders forward and have this kind of turtled position. What that does is it makes it really hard to rotate through our shoulders, and we end up rotating way too much through our lower back, which is meant to be stable, not mobile, causing pressure and pain. And then also, when we try to stand up straight, if we're stuck in this kind of hunched position through our thoracic discs, our lumbar discs here will make up by overarching, or our cervical discs will also overextend, creating two big curves here, creating a lot of stress. So really the health of our spine comes down to the health of our thoracic spine. If it can extend and rotate, everything else follows suit in a nice, healthy way. So we're actually going to go through 4 different exercises today. They're going to help the health of your spine be a nice, natural curve and also be able to move in its natural mobility. So we'll start with some cat-cows, which are great moves to decompress the spine. If you have a lot of tightness when you wake up in the morning or before you do lifts or carry things, this will really help to depressurize those discs and make sure they can move in individual discs versus these entire blob segments where we all often feel our back pull or wrench or jolt because they're not articulating, they're just moving in these kind of big blobs. So when we do the cat-cow, we're getting the benefit of the mobility through the spine, but also of the ability to articulate joint by joint. So what I want you to do is start with your hands right under your shoulders and your knees right under your hips. And then what you'll do is you'll start in this kind of shoulders back, arched back posture. So this is going to be the cow part of it. And what you'll do is you will start with your pelvis and actually roll it down and inward, disc by disc. Then it'll get to your mid-back. You'll push your shoulders forward, and then you'll tuck your chin into that cat stretch. Then you'll start with the head looking up, start to squeeze your shoulders back, flatten out your mid-back, and arch your lower back and tailbone by the end back into the cow. Okay, so there's got to be a directional component, not just one big movement up and down, nice and slow. So again, we'll start with the pelvis, rotating in at the tailbone, and then that waves up, 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 up. I push my shoulders forward, tuck my chin, and then I lift my chin, start pulling my shoulder blades back and down, and feel the rest of the spine extend back through the tailbone. Okay? Very important to do this segmentally so you learn how to control your spine and release it disc by disc. This position particularly is very good for your lower back. It's going to release a lot of energy that people have in their erectors right here in their lower back, and it's going to turn your core on a little bit, so really good for relaxing the lower back. This you definitely want to push. It's very safe to do too because you're not loading it with gravity. You don't have to push too hard in this extension. Most people already have too much energy here. If you're going to push somewhere, it's really getting that last bit of rounding here in extension. So after we've decompressed the whole spine, now we want to move into just the thoracic portion. And you can either use a broomstick or a dowel, or do this exercise where you have your hands together in this prayer position. This is actually called a prayer stretch. I like a little broomstick or dowel because it just opens my shoulders a little bit more. So you're going to hold them just like this, not out here, not too close, just in line with your shoulders. You'll find a chair or a bench or a sofa, whatever's comfortable, and you'll set up in a position where your hip capsules feel nice and open so you're not closed here. You're opening your hips. And you're also going to want to make sure you almost touch your butt to your heels here, because you want to actually round that lower back, which is going to make it a lot easier for you to extend the right curves here, because we're aiming for mid back here to extend. So you're going to set up, sit back, and just push that head through the bench and your arms, and make sure your chin stays nice and neutral or slightly looking up, because you want your cervical and thoracic to extend together. Okay, I'll push down, bring my shoulder blades together, try to pull my chest up now and arch my upper back. Feel a nice stretch through my lats. Hold for about 10 seconds and then come up. You can think about almost breathing into your thighs here with your belly. Okay, again, get in the position. Pull the chest up, shoulder blades together and down. Arch the back and look up. And you're trying to feel a little bit of extension right where the shoulder blades are. Even a little bit of an extension feeling makes a big difference here. Okay? So that's going to help a lot with pulling your shoulders back and getting the extension through the thoracic spine. But now we need to focus on the rotation and the release of the pecs. And this is a great exercise for that. Now for this one, you can definitely use a block between your knees if you need. That's fine to do. But you don't necessarily need that. If you're somebody who's pretty open, you can just close them up. The reason you might use a block is because it brings your hips a little more open and it makes it a little easier to rotate. All right, so what you'll do is you'll just start with your hands here, and then you will rotate to the side and in line with the other hand. Again, keeping your hips nice and level. Also keep them nice and high. You don't want to be too low. That's going to round your lower back, make it a lot more likely that you'll move from your cervical discs and not your lumbar discs. Okay, so you'll drop the head, always look at the hand, cervical and thoracic rotate together. My eyes follow where I'm going, and then I go back. Nice reach. If you find you can't quite get the ground here, you can definitely set up a little block or something here. You want to be able to touch something. You don't want to be floating through the air. That feels very stressful. So something you can get to and touch. Take a breath and then go back. As you get more proficient, you can even start to reach up and around. This is great for any kind of rotational sports where you're throwing balls or something like that. Okay, you want to aim for about 10 or 15 reps here. Feeling nice and open through that thoracic rotation. And for the last exercise, remember we want to strengthen whatever stretch pattern we have. So we're going to do something that's going to strengthen that nice extension we've developed through the first couple exercises by doing some T's, W's, and Y's. So we're just going to make sure that we feel nice and relaxed in our lumbar spine. We're not going to hyper extend. We're just going to come up a little bit and just pull the shoulder blades back in a T. Up and down just like so. Notice I'm not overextending. I'm just squeezing my shoulder blades back and down in that nice T position. Then I move to a W and get even more of a squeeze with my shoulder blades. Very subtle extension. The mid back is my hinge point, not my lower back. Then I hold that extension and I reach into a Y, and I almost like do a pull-up, pulling down with my lats. In and out. I like about 10 of each one here. Okay, so great job, everybody. After that, your curves are set up for a lot more success, where you've now mobilized your thoracic spine, and you've taken a lot of pressure off your lumbar and your cervical spine. So great job, everybody. You made it through all parts of the mini mobility series. Keep practicing. You can go back to certain sections if you feel like you need more work. And also look out for our full body movement warm-up, where we're putting everything together under time. So it's almost like a workout video that you can just follow along with. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.